Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sorcery and Secrets with What Team Comp. I'm your host, the Uncommon Guru. Say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh,
Joke.
hello.
Wunderbar, wunderbar, wunderbar. And we're all here. Butters is currently a champion, as we all expected him to be.
What? Wait, I'm
Yes,
confused.
you got first place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to
Yeah.
celebrate that, and I haven't had a chance to vocally say that he's the champion. And hold on, quick. Like this is, no sarcasm involved, just me. Good job, Butters.
Yay, buddy!
First place in band. I'm sorry, I've got to support my fellow band geeks, and so I have to make sure that's made aware.
If you are fapping in the background, I heard that.
That's clapping.
I know.
Clapping.
I know what I said.
I know what you said. That's why I had to make sure that it was emphasized that it was not that.
I'm pretty sure anyone listening would know it's clapping.
I should
but
hope
if
so.
I'm not gonna reach for that.
One will never be so dirty as to
Hello
do
there.
camera.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
If you are
Everything
the
cut out. I got scared.
You're fine.
As soon as people started congratulating me, everything cut out.
Oh, fuck.
Now we were just congratulating you more.
Nice.
So, you guys ready to begin?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Awesome
I'm
sauce.
ready.
Awesome sauce. So, do we all remember where we last left off?
I'm in the back of a fucking inn making alcohol. I don't think I'm getting lost anytime soon.
Ooh, let me do the recap.
Sure.
Okay, so you see what happened was we made it back to this port town, right? Shuffle went, we said goodbye to the group. Shuffle laid with some notes. Alex had a heartfelt conversation, then got spooked by Amnostra. Then we head over, after a night of sleeping in the town, do a little tidying up and everything. We go over to God's Finger. And Shuffle and Amnostra get taken to to Jack, the barkeep of the Mentor's Main, who is currently gave them a lot of money, like a lot of money, like oh my money. So yeah, while we did that, Amnostra and Tenebris went on a night on the town and met some weird cultish people that said they're warlocks and part of the Warlock Tower. So yeah, then everybody met up at the tavern again. Shuffle immediately left after smacking a dwarf on the buttock, and then I believe Alex made some ale for him, and that's where we left off.
Yep. With
Smack the dwarf's ass.
I mean, it is Shuffle. Would you expect him to not smack someone's ass on his way out? It was either going to be the dwarf or Edge.
No, it was either gonna. I'm used to Peta being the one to do it, so Shuffle doing it is just delicious.
Different campaign, Paris. New people can do different things. You could smack people on the ass if you wanted, but you have. Actually, no. What am I saying? You'd probably do that.
Pacer can do it from the afterlife.
If he so wanted.
The ghost.
That being
The
said,
ghost of Christmas
when
past.
we last left off, one of the other things that was occurring was that Imnostra was. I'm not going to say how patiently, that's something Imnostra can decide herself, but attemptedly patiently waiting on the three who had met her in the street regarding this Warlock Tower in the inn, as they said that they would meet up at the Manticore's Main, to discuss things with her. That being said, we will hop back in with that. So, Imnostra, how are you currently reacting to your waiting at the moment?
She's gonna try to make her alchemist's kit. You can do that, right? With the
To make an alchemist kit, or make something with the alchemist kit?
No, she has one.
Yeah.
Make ink with it.
The alchemist kit.
Ink, I don't think is something that's made with the alchemist kit. Ink is something more that you buy.
I think it is.
Does it say
Hang
that?
on.
I looked at my list. Hang on.
Yep. alchemist supplies. Create a puff of smoke, identify a poison, identify a substance, start a fire, or neutralize acid. Arcana, investigation, alchemical crafting. 1 pound per every 50 gold spent. Um, the
Does
DM
not
can
look
allow a
like you can
character to make
make
a check.
ink.
Yeah, ink is not one of those. Let me check calligrapher's
What
tools.
what can you make? I don't have it like it's a
I,
definitive
I
list.
listed off several of them.
I
I mean,
imagine
like
ink.
actual items.
I imagine ink is like, well, I mean, it's something you'd probably get from like an
Calligraphy.
animal or.
Calligraphy supplies would probably be more apt at making ink. What you're probably more looking at are, and write these down. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Smoke bomb.
Isn't it technically a stick?
What?
I'm
Type
reading smoke
fast.
stick.
I type fast, so we can just list it off.
No worries. Alchemy, fire, and acid. Those are the 3 things. Obviously, you have something that you would like to put forward. You have to put it forward for me to be
Yeah,
able to
you're
say
smart.
yay or
I'll
nay
make
to.
some alchemy fire then.
Okay. Roll a alchemist supplies check.
All right, what do I add to that? Just
Intelligence plus your proficiency bonus if you're proficient.
16 plus 1. I don't have proficiency in it.
You don't have proficiency in alchemy supplies?
I don't believe so.
Okay. It's probably a weaker acid, but you are able to keep it contained. Jack doesn't have to throw you out for, accidentally burning a hole through his establishment.
Never do that to me.
Then don't burn a hole in his establishment. You're currently
Alright.
in the Manticore's main doing that.
Yeah, I am.
So yeah, if you get thrown out, that's on you. But you're able to keep it contained. Your knowledge of it is good enough that you're not causing any damage. And it's very weak. I probably need to get more supplies to be able to make more of it, because as it just mentioned, it's per pound. You would need to pay 50 gold per. But with the supplies that you were able to procure currently, you've been able to aptly handle what you have created.
Cool, we did it. That's all I wanted to do while I waited.
Yep. Shortly after you finish, I'd say by 5-10 minutes at most, you hear the door open and you see 3 figures walking in. The 3 figures that you had spoken with before regarding the questions that you'd had. So, you see them. What would you like to do?
I wave them over. I'm also in the disguise self form. Just,
Okay.
just to. Hey, wait, I'm over here. I'm over here and like wave at them like really enthusiastically.
Yep. They kind of look over at you. They give you a little nod, and they make their way over. They don't seem perturbed at all, and the one guy just kind of nudges the other ones again when they walk in. They're all, like, they look at you at first, then they kind of look back to him before he's like gives a little nod. And as they go and they sit down, Aster, the tiefling, kind of just motions the other two to essentially slide back slightly as he leans forward. So then, you had questions regarding what we do.
That's true. Warlock, or like whatever you guys are.
Ask your questions.
Be right back.
I did. How do you
You cut
become a
out.
warlock?
How do you
okay.
become it? Yeah. That's a very intimate question. Have you done searching? Have you actually attempted to find ways with which to contact them? Each patron, as we call them, are different, unique, dangerous in their own way. And if they do not
And
accept you, they can, and perhaps will, destroy you for simply calling on them when they were not wishing to be bothered.
yeah, they can like smite you and stuff, right?
To an extent. Think of it
Well, I
more
mean,
like being feeble-minded, left a husk of an entity with little more than the jabberings of a fool.
well, that can like describe several people I know, so it's not that special. But anyway, so I imagine there are like tons of different gods you can do. What are some of the funnest ones?
Kind of all like looked at each other. The human looks a little perturbed, and he's kind of making like a across the neck motion of just like, nah, kill it now. We don't want to get involved in this.
Maybe I should have worded that better. What are like it's like what's like the one that won't kill me? Are there like ones that like get really angry, like angrier than most others, or is there like
It's less a matter of anger and more their fickle nature. They're creatures with vast power, and you are calling upon them seemingly as though you were doing it on your own whims. And while
Mhm.
one who is bonded with them can and have been given the permission to do so, sometimes they have been instructed as to when and how, so that way they do not offend. If you wish to know more and to be inducted, we can test you to see if you are among those who will be capable. Granted, it would
and
only
by
be
testing,
entry.
do you mean
Hold
you're
your
gonna like
tongue.
fight me?
Hold your tongue. He holds up a hand and just looks at you, waits for you to stop talking. I am explaining, so that way you will not have to be left in doubt. Asking questions is good, but sometimes your questions will be answered before you ask the question. Hold and be patient. Good. Part of the testing, as I mentioned, is part of the first level of the Warlock Tower. You will go no higher, you will go no further until you have shown that you've been tested and proven by such an entity as a patron, by which you would then be allowed further up, only based off of that bond that you have created with your patron, whether you get one or not. That is part of the testing, after all. So, if you were wanting to attempt such a thing, to find out firsthand, we can bring you to our tower and see if you survive.
Oh, that sounds like so great. Thank you so much for taking the time to like come and talk to little old me.
The human kind of leans forward slightly. It is not something to go about flippantly. You will be tested, and if you do not pass,
Get like smited and killed and stuff, right?
you can be. Yes, I have seen it happen to others.
Am I overhearing this?
You're in the back kitchen at the moment, so no. You're making
Oh,
nails.
Jesus Christ. It sounds like she's about to join a fucking cult.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, let's do that right. Can we do that right now?
Tomorrow. Depending on which patron you actually wish to speak with. We could do it right now, but that does mean that certain entities will be less cordial, putting it nicely.
Sleep.
Essentially, yes. Do you know, have you looked into and researched that with which you wish to speak with? The name of this entity?
Or out of character, would I know?
Have you done, has she done any research into this?
Imagine so, because she's wanted to look into it for a little while.
Roll a history check.
All right, here we go. Hang on. It's intelligence, right?
Yep.
It's an 11.
You have heard of a few different names. A specific one that stood out to you, though, never really came up. For an 11. Oh boy. Let me get on my notebook here. Oh, this is the wrong campaign. Let me flip that over. Is this even the right notebook? Nope. I have too many notebooks. Lots of campaigns, need to keep everything situated and straightened out between things. There we go. Alright, now I can look this over.
I'm back.
Welcome.
Okay.
What did I miss?
And which one would you have been looking into most fervently in terms of ideologies and such like that? Would you have been looking into like fiends, fae, creatures with names that are supposedly lost in time, or celestials? Hexblade you don't find the name of. Hexblade just kind of,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So which one would you have been looking for?
Be looking for like essentially a great eldritch thing.
Okay.
One is what I would think. It's
In
very
which case-
chaotic and like
Mhm.
weird.
Okay. With an 11, you don't know the name of them, but you've looked in books that have hinted at names. So it's like any of these could work, but the actual name that
I believe
in and of
she
itself you don't
has.
know.
I believe she has heard the name. So Truffle.
Yeah, because Ukatoa, she
Reciting.
knew about what Ukatoa was
Hmm.
with Ford. So yeah.
Yeah.
But no, she probably knows
Would-
that like
would-
eldritch things exist, and I'll put
She
it like
knows
that. I
yeah,
guess.
she would know they exist, but she doesn't know any names, like no specific names. And if you're wanting
Okay.
to try and name drop Ukatoa, I mean, you can name drop him.
No, absolutely not. Jesus Christ.
Didn't think so. A wise
On this
choice.
Christian household.
I would. Although I suppose Sono is not necessarily a great old one, or like she wouldn't know it's a great.
She doesn't even know
But,
the name Snork at the moment.
Yeah, she wouldn't. Okay, so she
Really?
goes. She's like,
No?
well, I have like.
Shuffle.
Oh, wait, can I talk?
Recited. Sorry. Shuffle recited the conversation I had in the
Yeah, she doesn't
Thieves
know
Guild
he's a
about
god.
Sono.
She's not done any research into him.
Oh,
She thinks he's a god at the moment. Just because it says that they're a cult does not mean that they're a cult, as I've mentioned before. She would have to actually look into it to find out more information regarding that.
Geet.
Yeah, since she just got back, she has not had time with which to do such research.
Okay, yeah, she's gonna. All right, I got it. I got this. Well, I've been like literally on the ocean for the past month, so I haven't like been able to go to a library or anything. But I do know that like there are these kinds called like old ones or like great old ones, and I think I liked the idea of those a lot.
You like the idea of them.
Listen,
Casper
I'm not
says
that
just-
eloquent.
No. He's just like looking at you, just like, are you crazy? Like he's like looking at you, like, are you crazy? And Aster is just kind of like nodding, just like, no, I get it, I understand. Well, I'm on board with this. Perrin just like slowly putting his hand in his face, just like, I'm surrounded by idiots. After a moment, Aster just kind of nods slowly. I suppose we can find someone to discuss this more with you, if you wish.
I would love that. Thank you very much.
Come to us before midnight. Do you know where the Warlock's Tower is?
Did see it, right? It was a
Yes,
big
you saw
pointy
it. It's a
thing.
big pointy thing, and they did point it out to you. So
Yeah,
you
okay.
know which one of the, because there's more than one big pointy thing, as you've called it.
And they pointed it to.
They pointed it to you. One of them is the Wizard's Tower, one of them is the Sorcerer's Tower.
They pointed it out to me. Okay.
Yes, they have pointed it out. They're just making sure
Okay.
you remember.
Yeah, I remember where it was. You pointed it.
Good. We'll see you there, and if you arrive after midnight, then consider the doors closed. Just keep that in mind.
Hey, thank you for seeing me.
Gives a little nod, stands up, and tell Jack that we still wish to speak more with him. He still has much he has not informed us of, and as much fun as it is to pry, he's infuriating sometimes. Most of the
Oh,
times.
don't worry. I'll get the message across. She blows a little kiss at them. Mwah. And winks.
Perrin rolls his eyes again. Castor kind of like leans back, just like, no. Aster catches it, just like, kisses Rosewood back. He's just like, I'm smooth as fuck.
Oh my god.
Winks at you. We'll talk later. Walks away.
Oh my god.
Wasn't Castor the one who saw through the disguise?
Yes.
So what, does he know what she actually looks like then, or does he just know
Yeah.
that she's disguised?
Oh no, he knows. So far as you're
I don't know
aware,
how that
he's-
exactly like mechanically works, as like seeing through illusions or whatever. So I just wanted to like understand.
Mechanically, there is a way to do it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell you, but
Absolutely.
there's a way.
No, I just wanted to know.
Oh yeah, there's a way. There's a way.
There is a way.
Alright, so she's just gonna fuck around, I guess, until midnight. Oh no, wait, no, actually, yeah.
Yep. Astar is spelled with an A. Astar, by the way, just to make sure that you have that in your notes.
ER or AR?
AR.
Yeah, that's right. It's on the notes, secrets and notes area.
Just want to make sure that you had that, because that's his name, and if you need to refer to him later, be like, I know who this is.
Yes, I do.
But yes. So yeah, you have the rest of the evening to kind of dick around.
Oh.
Is there anything anyone else is doing for the day besides, obviously, Alex is making ale, as she had mentioned before.
Shuffle's doing his thing, but we talked about that.
Shuffle was able to find them and was able to get his business done very quickly, fairly easily. And the guy, as I mentioned to you privately, he did make the joke, but you're both aware that you're his best, and one might consider you his favorite customer, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that when
Also,
other customers are busy.
Shuffle's gonna try to get into
To get into what?
the Thieves Guild.
Okay, roll an investigation check. With advantage, because you do know Thieves Guild. If you need, I can roll
you do
it for
that
you.
one? Yes, please.
Perfect time for her to BRB, because we took care of her stuff. Hooray! No, I don't want that. With advantage.
Why did you say Ghost of Christmas House?
I don't know.
You said
why-
Ghost of Christmas Past. We were talking
Oh.
about spanking. There you go.
Oh, right, okay.
23.
Remember, I was
that.
once part of this, by the way.
Mhm.
I was once part of this Thieves Guild.
I'm aware. That's why I gave you advantage. Because they do occasionally move things around or close off certain entrances, just to make sure that it's not like something that can easily be traced back and found, which you're aware of. It was just making sure that you found it, because it's been a while just from you being out and about, and you just want to make sure that you found the way back, but you eventually do. All right. And everyone there, just like when you enter the first part of it, they hold their hand asking for the usual thieves sign, which you give in Thieves Cant. They give a quick nod.
Is it just the Goonies under the hand closing? Like, is that
It's essentially the Goonies under the hand closing. Just a very quick symbol that's just quickly just something you can just do without anyone else being able to really see, unless you're paying attention to it, which they are. And you are allowed inside because you're one of them. Just because they know you doesn't mean that they're gonna, trust that someone's not trying to disguise as you to get in. But yep, they allow you in, and you're back home, which is a little bit weird to say the least. It's not exactly a home, but it's homely enough, I suppose. It does what it needs to do. Among the people who are there, just kind of milling about, one person does kind of notice you from afar, and they motion you over.
He'll sit down nervously.
You sit down, and they see that, and they're like, yeah, yeah. 1 second, boss. And you see a dark-haired woman coming out of the shadows with like a clipboard looking thing that she's just kind of flipping through real quick before handing it off to someone else, like motioning them for like, go get that done. Person just quickly, yep, runs and just like starts climbing up a rope into a higher level. As she moves over, pulls out the chair, and just kind of sits down very lackadaisically. She's wearing nothing that really stands out at a first glance, but her leathers are very worn, very faded leathers that look like they've been seeing plenty of time and usage, with a few thieves' cant esque symbols that essentially you can piece together as "I'm the boss," essentially, which is something that is more common for this thieves guild, since it denotes who is currently the boss at the time, and she's one that's been the boss for a while because her leadership skills in preventing the duke from calling down, guards and such to undermine your work has been useful, say the least. But she sits down and she just kind of gives you a small smile. She gives a little wave to the other person who called you over and just like, you don't need an audience here. Go on. The guy kind of like looks at you with very like just like I don't trust it. But after a moment, he finally backs off, and she. Well then, how's it going then, little birdie? It's been a while. You've been gone for some time.
Just gives a thumbs up.
That's good. Good health, I should hope. They didn't try and wash the black out of your feathers.
He gives the like looking up slightly. Is like he's trying to figure out if that was a racist comment.
It's not a racist comment. It's
not.
actually, it is actually a thieves' code for certain people, where they ask like if they tried to take something away from you, aka did someone try and bribe you or try and make you give information about the thieves' guild.
He'll pop and write down. I made something interesting to stop people from being able to get the chance.
She stares at you for a moment with like it's like one of those like I'm just staring at you to stare at you before she leans forward. I'm listening.
He will summon Groovy and put it on the table, not letting go of it.
Of course, she doesn't. She has no intention of trying to grab it. She basically is just touching it just to like get a feel for it. Just be like, huh, okay, let's see what this is. And she kind of looks it over for a second. She's like, different. Did you design this after a cannon?
He'll just slowly kind of nod.
Fascinating. There's a smith of such reliquies, I suppose you could call them. Supposedly he's the. I'm trying to remember the amount of greats that there are. Great great grandson of a half orc farmer who created one of the first prototypes of these. Not the cannons, no, the smaller versions. I believe that they were referred to by him as a mortar. Might be something you might be interested in hearing more about if you were wanting to expand your horizons with what you can do with such things. But then again, it costs gold, And as I'm sure you're aware, while we all help one another out, there's always room for a little extra to be put in the bank. Essentially saying that if you want more information, you gotta pay.
You were right down on the board. I wasn't looking for information. I was just here for a general letting you know I'm in town for the moment.
Well, that's fair. I just figured that if you were going to be so forthright with showing me something like this, that I should be forthright with telling you I, at the very least, can tell you that I know something more. Something that you might find interesting, might not.
The,
Suppose
the,
that's
the gun will vanish, by the way.
okay. So you put it back in, and she doesn't bat an eye at it. It's something she's seen. I mean, it's a trickster thing for this guild, so yeah. Alright. Is there more that you wish to discuss, or just saying hello?
What have you got on the Manticore's mane?
Ooh. Oh, I suppose you could say I had a hand in helping make sure that it was built. Um, hmm. What information are you looking for?
How far deep is your thumb on top of
Jack knows who the boss is, and well, he doesn't push buttons and he doesn't cause difficulty. I don't need to keep my thumb too firmly pressed like some businesses. Speaking of, I need to go take care of that bakery in a little bit. But regardless, I've my thumb firmly across it to ensure that they don't cause us any discomfort, if you catch my drift. Last thing we need is another issue like the Phoenix Rising. Which, if you want, I can roll you a history check for that, because you would have been in the city for that.
Sure, dog.
One second here. Actually, you would have been somewhat part of the cleanup, so I'll give you advantage. $19. I only needed 15 to get that. The Phoenix Rising was an incident where one of the inns that is no longer an inn, they had to essentially rip it down to its bare bones and make it go away, essentially, because the establishment owner started getting a little off kilter when certain patrons started to come around. The running theory, because of the fact that the Duke himself actually started going crazy around that time as well, was that there was a newly hired bard that had gotten in with the Duke and with the Phoenix Rising and was essentially planning to raise a secret army to take over God's Finger. And well, the Thieves Guild couldn't have an army running around in their city, so they promptly helped to find ways around it. You don't know all the details in that regard, but you know that it was put down and the bards were forthright sent away quickly from the city. So that is what you know about the Phoenix Rising incident. There, Butters?
Mm-hmm.
She just kind of gives a little nod at that. Like I said, I don't need another incident. And while it is useful enough to utilize what we have been given, I prefer that we don't lose track of what we've given. And, well, Jack's a good man. Good man, but not the best. Good enough for our purpose, at least, if you catch my drift.
Hmm.
You alright, Butters? Sounds like you have some background
Yeah.
noise.
Sorry. Yeah.
You're fine. Just making sure that you're okay. He's just looking at you for a moment. Seeing if you're
He
fine.
was. He just goes. Anything I should worry about in the city?
In the city itself?
Any new people starting up businesses that could potentially hurt people?
In a good way or a bad way? Obviously, there's the 50-50 split on that, but
Yes.
I've always enjoyed that about you, Shuffle. Currently, there's no new businesses that have been popping up within the last month, which is, well, fine and dandy. We are still keeping our eyes on the music store aficionado from the Middle District, but thus far he's been quiet. Not exactly what I'd like to say about a person who was formerly a bard, but it's what we can work with, and I will not be upset that he has not caused any issues, if you catch my drift with that as well. Especially considering the last time he blew that god's damn kazoo.
I right now. Did you appreciate the weapon?
Appreciate the what?
The weapon I showed you.
I do
Did I
indeed.
just hear a baby?
I did as well. I did appreciate it. Why?
I'm working on a bigger one and a better one, and I need a place to work on it.
Going to try working on it here.
If you would have me.
You do realize that if you're working on it here, we're going to want to see how it's made. To see if we can maybe make a few more. I mean, if it works as well as you think, of course, we're not going to stop you from making them. That's
How about this? I make it. I take it on a test drive for a while, make sure to work out all the kinks. I'll come back with the final blueprint. Relationships are built off trust. Can you trust me enough for this?
you were practically born and raised here. I trust you. She kind of nods behind you, where the other entity who was there before is just kind of like, he's against a wall. He's not like listening in. He's just close enough to, like, if you do something, he will be like over there. He's just like, others are less trusting. But then again, that's why, unlike him, I am the boss. We
I've
work out a
noticed.
contract for this. Signed and sealed deal. That fair?
He nods and right. I think I have enough money for it.
Good.
I'm almost positive I do. If I don't, I might borrow some, or I can sell you some stuff I got.
We don't have a borrowing system.
How about a blueprint for a pistol?
We have pistols. You're implying that what you have will be better. And therefore, that's why I
I
want to
do,
see it.
but it's a different type, is what I'm saying.
That's why I'm waiting.
Well, I might have the gold right now. I don't want to just give it to you.
All right. If you're looking to give me money for parts, obviously I'm not the one with them. Go find whoever you need to get the parts you need, and I look forward to seeing your work.
He'll stand up. He will write, do you know who in the town would be crazy enough to carry these items?
She looks, I'm guessing you have, like, write up a list.
Yeah, of all the stuff I need. Because I've been playing this for the past, what, half a...
Let me see if she knows anyone. Not off the top of my head. I know of a few people who might have some ideas as to where you can get these items. She pulls out a piece of paper and basically just gives you a list of names that you can look at. Talk to them. I'd say at least half of them will give you an idea of what to look for, and the other half may actually have what you're looking for. Like I said, these items shouldn't be too terribly difficult. I'm guessing it's just items for like gunpowder and such.
And the general... Yeah, just gunpowder and stuff, because I know where to find, like...
Yeah, because to actually get like barrel of the weapon made and such like that, you would need... It's going to be
Custom
a custom
work.
job, yeah.
Yeah, custom work.
Yeah, because you're going to need it to be custom in order to actually get that to be anywhere near functional. And even then, that is going to mean that just making it, there's going to be obviously misfire chance, trying to make sure that it works properly until you get it as close to perfect as you can. Alright, so 1 second here, just trying to make sure what's going on with that. Oh, there we go. Making sure my stream is being tweeted out. Wunderbar. Alright. Of course, it's going to be noisy as hell when it does it. It's my phone for you. It's even silenced. Shouldn't be doing that. Sorry about that. There we go. But yep, so yeah, she gives you the list. It's vague enough that it's clear that they might not be supposed to be making these items, but it's the Thieves Guild. They've got connections. They know who to talk to. So you have your list to begin looking at ways with which to try and get this item of yours crafted. It's a start. One that will take time, of course, but you have your start. Anything else you want to do in the Thieves Guild?
He will leave.
Alright, you have left the Thieves Guild. NPR, anything else you are doing in the meantime?
He was gonna buy a business.
He's going to what?
He was gonna try and buy a poisonous kit somewhere.
Roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Ow.
Looking around, and I'm guessing you're trying to be somewhat coy about this. I mean, unless you're just like, I just want to find a poisoner's kit.
Just ask everyone in town.
He's being secretive about it.
Of course. Being secretive and just being like, hey, do you know anything more about like things with these properties, or with, you know, where I could find someone who has this? Most people, they just kind of like, nah, that's not something I'm aware of. Or they're just kind of like pausing for a second, and they're just like, really odd request. But by that point, you're just kind of like, all right, if they're getting onto me, I guess not. I suppose I can just go looking elsewhere. Thank you, though. And
He's on to me. Bail.
he's on to me. He's angry. Jumps through window.
Suppose he would try and look for the Thieves Guild because, you know,
Make an investigation check for that.
they probably know stuff. No? Okay, fine.
Yeah, looking around for it. This is a new place. This is not where you've been expecting it, and from the look of it, it's very difficult to find where the Thieves Guild actually is in this place. It may be that it's like in the middle district. You're not certain. The more you look around it, the more frustrating it gets because clearly they designed this in mind of trying to avoid people from finding them.
Okay.
I mean, that's, the whole point of being a rogue and a thief is to not be found. So, I mean, at the very least, they're doing their job right.
Is there anything that I would find? Um, no, is there like a contact or something around?
For what you're looking for,
As in, like, from my background.
looking around, it would take you some time before you actually found a place that matched it. It actually took you going to 3 bouquet stores to find it. But eventually you do find one that has the proper items situated where they're needing to be. And if you're looking to send a message, you can speak with them regarding it.
Okay. He, I suppose this contact is associated with my guild.
Yeah, they're associated. Like I said, they have
Okay.
all the proper prerequisites to show that they are.
Okay.
And when you ask them the right questions, they answer appropriately.
He's going to ask, where I could find a local tavern with people that are rather similar in my interests.
Working in your interests, you're probably going to want to go. And he gives you the location of the Last Petal.
Okay.
Last Petal Inn.
Out of character, I dearly hope he didn't take that.
Hmm?
Out of character, I hope he didn't take that literally.
Take what literally?
As in, I was just basically making code for, like, where's the thieves come?
Yeah, well, he tells you to go to the Last Petal.
Yeah. He's gonna go to the last petal.
Okay.
And he thanks the guy and gives him a gold piece.
Yeah. He accepts it, gives a little nod. You go to the Last Petal. Just looking it over, seems casual enough, very calm. Granted, there's definitely a kind of shadow over it, like everyone's kind of like looking over their shoulders at each other. You go up to the bartender, I'm presuming.
Yeah, I'll go to the bartender.
Okay. You go up to the bartender. The bartender's just doing the bartender thing, just kind of gives you like a side eye. Little beat.
Sorry, what?
What'll be? I don't go with the accents, but girl, what'll be?
I'll have a bottle of wine or a pitcher.
Pitcher wine. We got you covered. Motions for you to put the money on the counter as he pulls it out.
He's going to. Yeah, how much gold is it? Sorry.
For a pitcher of wine, I believe it was like 3 silver or something like that. I know a bottle is 10 gold. Pretty sure it's 10 gold. But for a pitcher, oh, too far.
I'll grab a bowl. Why not?
Pitcher's 2 silver.
Oh, I'll grab. Oh, I'll get a pitcher.
Okay.
And he's also going to he's going to write down a note with his calligrapher's supplies. He's going to do some new handwriting.
Okay.
I'm also looking for the right people. She slides over.
That's vague. Which people?
Hold on, out of character. I have to think about this.
Don't slurp, it's bad manners.
And now he will try extra hard. Yes,
This is the most split the party's been.
I know. It's amusing to me.
Is there any like kind of sign or like code that my guild has? Other than like, is he like, is he wearing anything? Would he be wearing anything that like represents?
I mean, wearing stuff like that could be considered a dead giveaway, but if you were wanting something like that, I suppose you could be.
Well, just thinking about like what's a common sign thieves guilds you that recognize other than thieves can. Hmm. I'm just thinking of a way that, this is really difficult. Is there anything that Tenebris would know that would?
Regarding things like the Thieves Guild,
Yeah.
you would know that if his organization not often well respected in the Thieves Guild, though they will allow those of your organization in, because obviously it's part of your background. It's just that they're obviously more wary of you. Again, stop that.
Sorry.
You're making a point of it at this point. Essentially, you would be able to essentially let them know that you were looking for like something very. It's like it sounds very obscure. It's like you're looking for a rose petal in a silver box. Would be a good explanation of like something that's basically saying I'm part of this guild and I'm looking to speak with people in their home essentially.
Oh, I've got one. I'm looking for someone that would take in a rose.
Got a few places like that. What's the rose offering?
Oh, gold. Perhaps some information if required.
Here we got a door at the end of the hall. Decent enough room. Might be able to find more about the rose. Just keep walking through it. Ignore the smoke.
Thank you. He hands over 5 gold.
He takes it and just kind of puts it behind the counter.
And he will walk this pitcher.
Yeah. You just take the entire pitcher. He's like, leave the pitcher, put in your own flask. Stop slurping, it's bad manners.
He'll put the he'll take some of the wine into like a flask and then take it with him.
Okay, so you now have a flask of wine.
He's going to drink it along the way.
You go following the room, and the room is smoky, and just from like the first whiff of it, it's got a strong smell to it, which is putting it lightly. Definitely smells as though there's probably some things that are not supposed to be smoked out in the open. That being said, they kind of give you a passing looks as they give you little nods and the like as they some squint at you, some like offer you some as you go past.
He sort of he just shakes his head.
They like kind of shrug, just like, all right, just. You also hear the sound of a dice in a corner as people are like, fold it. Damn, you cheated. You can't prove it. Just the casual sounds of people making the most of what's in front of them, essentially, would be a good way of putting it. Eventually, you get to the other side of the room where you see that there's another door. This door leads outwards and downward. Do you follow it down?
Hello?
Can you hear me? NPR? Can you hear me?
NPR!
Oh no, we've lost him. He fell down the stairs. NPR, have you fallen down the stairs?
Oh my god,
NPR, have you fallen and can you get up?
he's vanished.
Ah, dang it. We've lost our NPR, oh no.
Oh no! NPR!
Zoinks!
Oh my god.
Roro!
I was actually thinking of Saved by the Bell. What was the guy's name?
There we go.
Waldo
Hello?
Welcome back.
Hello? Oh. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we lost you there for a second.
I was lost around
I
two
said
people
there's
like arguing.
Yeah, there's some people like arguing and such, and then at the end of the room you find that there's a stairway leading down.
Okay, he's gonna look at the stairway for any traps.
Make an investigation check. Wise choice. Looking it over, the first step is booby trapped.
I suppose the next step is
The next step is safe.
he'll skip that step then. That step.
A very simple little thing, but you step over it, you head down the stairs. You're heading down.
Yep.
Eventually, you're in a few areas that have a difference between bright and dark light, where it's clear that the dimness is meant to be exploited in some way, probably for people wanting to hide away as one would want to do as a rogue.
Oh, dim light. Ah, lovely.
When you get to an area that's coming out of the corner, or not the corner, out of the corridor, as you're getting closer to it, it's far more illuminated, very, I wouldn't say necessarily bright light, but it's definitely not dim light. But as you're stepping out of that, you see a small like flash of metal as you see the flat end of a scimitar put in front of your faces. Is like, who are you?
You said that I was not in dim light anymore.
You're not in dim light anymore.
Okay. I am someone who shares a profession with you all.
That didn't answer my question. turns the blade slowly to the edge. Who are you?
Do you want my name?
Preferably.
My work?
Name, work, something to identify you with.
I'm an assassin. Tenebris.
Fair enough. Lets it go and he lets you pass. Still giving you like this look of just like, I'm on to you.
He will walk past. He'll look for someone who looks like a poisoner.
Make a perception check. Okay. With the 23, you eventually see a person off in the corner. Looks to be a... He's dressed a little bit too clean, is the thing that first catches your attention. Like, of all the things here, like, everyone's not like... It's not like you're in a place that's, like, grimy or anything like that, but he's too clean. Like, he should be less clean. But he's not.
He's gonna approach his table.
What can I do you for, my good sir? We've got quite the selection.
I've been looking for someone who has a penchant in poison to aid in my work. You wouldn't happen to have any supplies, would you?
So bold, so brazen to ask a man if he knows a thing or two about poison. Well, for a price we can talk, but I should say one should have more tact, even in a place such as this. Start asking around about poison, people are going to get suspicious. They're going to start thinking that you're up
Well,
to something, that you're down for things that are unnecessary.
it's not my fault that you hide a little too well.
He kind of gives a shrug. Just because we hide well doesn't mean that that should be held against us. We're just good at what we do. What are you looking for specifically? Just the kit itself, or are you looking for something a little spicier?
I'm looking for a kit, perhaps a place to train in its use, and
So you're not trained in its use? Oh goodness gracious, that's terrible.
indeed, I seek to rectify that.
Not many people here are going to do that without a substantially pretty penny being paid up for the education, if you catch my drift.
Mm-hmm.
It's not every day someone wants to learn such things, and usually those who do are assassins. And well, if you're paid for being good at what you do, you don't pay, you don't get paid anything less than top quality for your work.
Indeed. I think I would know.
Oh, you think you do? I wouldn't call you a top quality assassin. I don't even know your face. Which, I suppose that's a good thing, but when it comes to this guild, rogues amongst rogues should know each other at least somewhat, so they know who will kill them when they squeal.
I try to stay away from prying eyes.
Not the best idea, but I suppose that if you're not wanting to know the face of your assailant, that's for you to have in mind. You're looking to buy yourself a poisoner's kit.
Indeed.
I happen to have one. Stocked with a little bit of extra for a little bit of spice.
What are we talking?
Comes with, actually, let me grab the actual name of it real quick. I don't know my poisons off the top of my head. Forgive me. No, I'm not. There we go. What was it? Yep. Comes with a healthy dose of assassin's blood.
Hmm.
225
Uh-oh.
gold for the poisoner's kit. And again, it's a single dose, but it's worth the cost.
I'll take it.
Alright. He pulls out a poisoner's kit. Make sure to open it up to show you what's inside, as well as flipping the cork lid of the bottle very gently to show that that is the one that has the assassin's blood. And he slides it over to you. You now have a poisoner's kit and 1 dose of assassin's blood.
Yay. He slides over the gold. In a more discreet manner, of course.
Obviously. Probably in like a bag or something, so it's, he quickly pulls it over to quickly count it up. Doesn't let you go until he's finished, but
He waits.
counts it up for a second before nodding slowly. A pleasure doing business with you. Perhaps we'll do business again, if you're not dead before we meet again. Or perhaps I'll be dead this time. Who knows? The life of one such as us. I should only hope that I'm dead. Pleasure doing business.
Likewise. He stands up and he's gonna sit by the bar and drink from the flask of wine.
So you go
And
back
just-
up to the bar?
Oh, is there not a bar in the?
No.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what upstairs is for. Down here, you're in the
Okay.
actual guild where you're actually here to do business, not drink.
Okay. Well, I mean, I would have thought drinking would be.
That's not part of their business. If you're doing business, you want to be sober. Well, at least here you do. If you drink back at your place, that's on you. Inebriated dealings with assassins. That's a smart idea.
And only the bards do business when they're inebriated. Let's be
It's where they make their worst decisions.
What else does he want to do? He's gonna see if there are, perhaps. Let me think. He's gonna, yeah, head up back to the bar, I think.
Alright. Alright, so you head back up and you are able to get your drink and to relax as you please. So, I'm guessing Imnastra is going to head to the Warlock Tower.
absolutely.
Alright. So you head on over, and Paris, I apologize that this is focusing a little more on everyone else at the moment. It's just trying up all these loose ends before we can get into the
I love you,
other stuff.
Paris.
It's fine.
I know I'm trying to get through this as quickly as I can, but it's RP stuff at the moment. We'll get back into the good stuff soon, I promise.
I want my barrel of ale by the time it's over, die.
I mean, it's cheap ale, but it's ale. Just because it's good cheap ale doesn't mean it's not cheap.
Bitch, this is what I'm using to get a sword.
I'm aware.
This is the Bud Light of ales you're making.
basically.
You say that, but holy shit, there's a Budweiser fucking Clydesdale bar literally not 20 miles from my house.
I believe it.
Oh, I'm stressed, baby. Let's get this. Let's get this bread.
All right, so you pass a bakery to get this bread. I'm kidding.
No!
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I would absolutely do that to you. Don't let me lie to you like that. But you guys, and by you guys I mean you, head your way to the Warlock's Tower promptly when you have the chance, and you enter into the essentially the foyer area where there's just a few different people just kind of like peeking up at you, just like noticing you enter. As you walk in, there's a receptionist area where you can speak with them. They're just a nice looking little gnome who's just casually looking up. Maybe it'll help you, miss.
Hi. I was told to come here by Aster earlier.
You're going to want to go up the third hallway,
Thank you very much, ma'am.
sir.
I'm sorry. I whatever. I thought you said lady.
No,
So she says sir
gnome.
instead.
I said gnome.
Oh.
I just I
Okay,
did
so
not
yeah,
say
she
gender.
goes-
I just gave I just gave that. they
Well,
were
I
a
thought you did. That might be. I
You're
say
fine.
yeah.
You're fine.
Okay, she goes then.
Are you a man, a woman, or
Just-
a gnome?
Covers eye just like, huh, it appears I have made a mistake. Just, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm over here now. You can't see me. Making your way in, you find the third stairway easy enough, and you start heading down it until you realize you're starting to go down a ways. It doesn't feel like it's going down super far, but after a little bit, you're kind of just like, okay. Interesting. Follow it down. Feels like you're kind of curving around slightly until you're in an open area that looks like it's some form of library with magical lights. That's no torchlight to be seen. They're very careful about their books. And several other entities, all robed in some manner. They give you a half glance where they're just kind of like looking over at you just to acknowledge your entrance, essentially. But they don't seem to pay you any mind.
Can I peep around and see if I can find him?
Make a perception check.
Boy. This die that I have not yet used. The perception.
12?
Yeah.
It takes you, I'd say, about a good 5 minutes to find him. Partly because he's no longer wearing his robe. He is currently wearing a tunic that is kind of. It's like it has one of those. What is it? I think it's like the high collar, but it's not an actual collar. What's that called?
No idea.
You know
Wait,
those,
what?
you know those. I think it's
High neck?
no, it's like
Bots?
He's thinking more vampire style, like the giant floof in the back. Like,
no, not
Oh,
like
the-
that. It's more like
Oh.
I think it's one of those Chinese or Asian high collar looking shirts,
Chong
know.
Sam?
kind of like a monk's shirt almost.
Okay. All
One
right.
of those monk
I
shirts.
got
I
it.
was trying to think of monk for some reason. It wasn't coming to me. I'm like, come on, I know what this is. Yeah, it's like one of those monk high collar shirts where it's not an actual collar, but it covers the entirety of the neck.
Mm.
It's a deep red with like when you look at his back, you see it's this black flame design that like wraps across the back around the front. It's very artistically done. Clearly, it's aesthetic, but looks cool. And he turns around when you approach him, just kind of looking back over at you, just like, "Oh, good, you made it. I was worried that you'd be late."
I'm never late. Probably.
There you go. Honesty is, well, it's not preferred. Some people prefer to hear a lie on occasion. Me, myself, just me speaking from personal experience, I enjoy hearing the truth more often. Leaves a bit more of a fun expectation.
I'm almost never late.
Good. Good. So, here you are, surrounded by books. Which one will you pick from the shelves to find out more about your mysterious old ones? And there are a lot of books around you, by the way. Like, he's like
Yeah.
motioning to all, just like, yep, take your pick. Take your
Okay.
time.
So he's not pointing to a particular area.
No. He is being
Are they-
as coy as he can be. He's essentially saying, in order to find out anything, you are going to have to actually take the time to look and read.
Okay, yeah. Where's the? Are they divided by sections?
As far as you can tell, you're not sure. It looks like there's some differences between them.
Labels?
No labels except for the names on the back cover.
Oh, beans. All right. Is there like a system of labeling that you guys have in place, or is it just like all the books just in random like shelves and stuff?
They are where they need to be.
Great. All right, she's gonna look around.
Are you
See if
looking
you can find-
for? If you're looking just for the old ones, I can. He kind of like makes a half motion to one of the shelves, just like fine, I'll be a little bit helpful. He motions to one of the bookshelves over on the other side, basically just like over there. Right now you're
Oh.
in a different section. It's one of the less looked into and often forgotten, but I didn't forget it.
You're so smart. Thank you so much. And she like trots over there. She like looks for a. I don't know. She's just gonna research into Eldritch gods, I guess.
Okay. Also, are you disguised or are you just rocking out with your tail out?
Walk it out with
Disguised.
it. No.
She's just. I mean, are there other people? How many other people are there in the area?
Probably about half a dozen.
They see me? Are we near? Are we like in shelves and shit?
I mean, if you're going between shelves and such, you can. Just make sure you're marking off the spell slots you're actually using for disguise self.
Yeah, she has like a few.
I'm more.
I think she is. She's using sorcery points too, which is
Extended spell or...
yeah,
Okay.
interesting.
Extended spell is very useful if you know how to use it.
Mm-hmm. The other people who can see through the illusion get mad at me about it. Oh shit. No, she's gonna keep it up and she's gonna look for through the books.
Okay. No one seems to say anything as you're looking through. I mean, obviously you can talk to them and find out more information. That's completely up to you. But if you're just looking around and trying to figure things out, by all means,
Yeah.
roll investigation check.
Baby. Oh god, it
Freedom!
ran off my die tray.
Freedom! It's not just me!
Investigation.
Yes.
That's at 19.
Okay. Is that 19 on the die?
Oh, it's 18 plus 1.
It seems that freedom was the right way.
I re-rolled it. And...
You're fine.
I know.
No, I was gonna say that you probably should because it rolled off, but nope, that's fine. 19. You begin looking through the various odds and ends, essentially, of these books. There's various things that are referenced, ranging from, and mostly as you're looking through it, you find out that it's referring to various different things, referring to things of older entities, essentially, going as far back to say things of the old magic, things of old times, things of old blood, things of old minds. There's a lot of different possibilities and things for you to look over. Which one would you like to take a peek into?
hang on, the phone is ringing. Jesus Christ.
Timing!
Okay, I'm back.
Yep.
So you were giving me options essentially.
Essentially,
I
yes.
think with all the lists you were making, old
Yes.
magic, old blood, old mines.
Old magic, old blood, old mines, as well as things regarding titans and the lore behind creatures like that as well, to the old gods.
I'll look into those. I'll research. I
gods.
don't know. Yeah, old gods.
Okay. You pull out a thing regarding the old gods, and you do find that there are a few that have missing pages, probably because these were books that had been acquired after some of the knowledge had been destroyed. Granted, there are a few that have clearly reinserted pages where it's clear that information was added back. Roll me a d6 because you're looking for old gods and there's several books on it, so I'm gonna give it some random chance here.
Get to roll my d6 for the first time. That's a 6, baby.
All right. You begin reading and you see an emblem like an upside down horseshoe on the title. It's a little odd, but you're willing to rock with it if that's what the symbol of these old gods used to be. Reading through it, you read over a few different things. These creatures were supposedly creatures that existed out of space, out of time, in a realm essentially that was both eternal and finite. And in order to expand their own world, they attempted to create an infinite possibility chain, something that was supposed to release their energy from this finite what's the word I'm looking for? A confine into an open world that would allow them to be free. And in doing so, they supposedly assisted with various other gods in creating the planes of existence. However, in doing so, they were only able to exist there for so long before their power began to expand infinitely as well, beginning to decay some of the world. And they were forced to retreat back into their own plane to prevent the destruction of the world they had just helped create. Let me actually see about pulling up some of the names of them here. Crap. I'm going to have to pull this up over somewhere else real quick. 1 second. There are 4 names that are written down, with the 5th name that's missing. Actually, no. There's a 5th name that's missing, but there's scratched into the margins a name with a question mark.
Fuck yeah.
So let me grab their names real quick.
I know that you're gonna have to write these down for me because the Eldritch
worries.
names.
I know, I'm aware. These ones are actually fairly simple, surprisingly,
Cool.
but at the same time, they're obviously going to just need a little bit of working with, so thought I had them on a notepad, and they're not on the notepad. Okay, let me pull it up over here. It's loading, yeah, it's loading, yeah, it's loading once again. I'm sorry, I was listening to the fan songs, and the tunes are still stuck in my head.
Oh, good.
There we go. It's taking its sweet time to load up. No. Come on. There we go. the last name real quick. Just making sure that I get the spelling right. That's always the pain. Where are you? Where'd you go? Heck. I appreciate your patience while I'm making sure I get this last one pulled up because it's just being a pain in the butt.
It's alright.
Your
There
time.
we go. There's the name.
Hey.
Alright, I wanna.
Did it. I mean, Guru did it, but we were there for moral support.
I appreciate the moral support. Just gotta go back into the game. There we go. I'm gonna read off the different names for you.
We'll try to spell them to the best of my ability.
I will put it into the chat so you can not have to worry about that.
Thank you.
Alright. So the names, as they're written, are Edidorfa, Sotapai, Salta, Sonork, and the one in the margin is Kizox. Here's how they're spelled.
I love them so much. Can I look for the last one? Is there anything is there anything under what the last one is?
Kizox. Looking over them, each one of them has different information regarding them, and just kind of, you're just like, hold on, this one in the margin, let me just flip through. There's a name that is missing from several different places, and in the margins you're able to quickly figure out that it's probably referring to this Kizox, or at the very least that he's in reference to these because the original name is not there. Looking him over, you're like, okay, where Kizox. Based off of the information that you're able to pull up from this book, just looking it over really quickly, he's unpredictable. Sometimes and estranged even of his own people, as it were. But he is an entity who initially created the gateway with which to travel between the plane they existed on and the new plane that was created, and as such is occasionally attributed as a traveler and a I would say patron slash god almost to the wanderers and the vagabonds, those with perhaps less than good intentions. But at the same time, even those with good intentions can fall under his gaze and be welcomed.
You can just give me. You don't have to say say them all out loud. You could send them to me via. I'm here. We could. I just want a summary of both of them, but I mean all of them.
It's a Caleb scenario.
I have to know all of it. I'm sorry.
No worries.
If you're gonna make a choice, you could skip to me later or whatever.
No worries. More information real quick. Let's see here. I believe I'm trying to make sure I'm getting all the correct information for you. No worries.
Your time.
Out of character, I'm sorry, but I'm really excited about that.
I'm aware. She rolled a 6, man. I have to give her the good stuff, and this is the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Should be, yeah. Edidorfa and Sotapai are siblings. One of them is known to be wise and very much attempting to take control not only of his own destiny, but also of the destiny of those that they attempt to watch over, while the other is considered more one who is essentially associated with action, forgetting about consequences until after going forward, essentially with a vim, vigor, and zeal to allow themselves to overcome obstacles that other people would, with too much foresight, see as being impossible. It also means that they have various ties to acting on your very nature and instincts versus knowledge.
That's Sotapai, just making sure because you said they're
Sotapai and
siblings.
Edorfa. It doesn't specify
Which
which
one is-
brother is which. It does not mention in the book, but it does mention one
Fuck.
of them is hindsight, one of them is foresight. And Salta is known as the builder, the great constructor, and one who watches over all of creation. They say that his eyes can see all and that from him all is known. While it does mention that is a lot more about knowledge, it also mentions that there's a finite things that he knows. He only knows things on a certain plane of existence, and that his power is extremely limited in that he is influence only exists and exudes from one specific location. It doesn't mention the name of the location, but it does mention that it's from one place. And let me know when you're ready for Sonork.
I'm ready right now.
Sonork is referred to as the Time Reaper, one who is known for creating as well as for harvesting the time of all things, from the pre-existence to the current existence. It's said that without him, time would not have first begun to move. By his very breath, it began. Some people say that's why gnomes initially started calling the faces of clocks faces, because they were looking into the eyes of Sonork. Granted, you can also see that a lot of the information on here is newer, fresher, more recently put in, so maybe a biased opinion from someone else, but it seems that this particular one of them has the most up-to-date of them and the most information.
Okay, fuck. Is there any way I can tell which out of the twins, which one is which? Is there any way I could look for it?
Roll an intelligence check.
I know exactly which one she wants to.
It's a 9.
It's a wild toss-up. Based off of the way that they're described, I will give you the description because you do kind of go back and read through that. Edidorfa is referred to as an individual that is very broad-shouldered, but a little bit gangly, with eyes that are supposedly shining as the stars, while Sotapai is a very stout individual, well-rounded, and with a laughter that is supposedly heard regardless of where you are, as a thunder that echoes into the eternities.
Fucker, I have no idea. Shit.
I'm giving you vagaries as hints because you get rolled a 9, but it is still a hint. If that's what you're looking for, I'm just giving you hints as to what you can get.
All right, I think Sotopa is the one. Is the one. Okay, yeah. All right, that's. Is that all I can get? That's
Yep,
all I can get.
that's all you can
Okay.
get.
All right.
Yeah, I gave you 5, so
I know. Thank you.
gave you
Very
5
good.
options to be like, which one, which one.
All right. She puts the book back.
Okay.
Puts the book back, and she goes to. Oh God, I keep forgetting his name. Oh no, hang on. Star.
Okay.
She's like, "Hey, I read through all the books, and
All of
they were
them.
like these. No, I mean not like all of them, but the one I needed to read. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine. I just
But
wanted to make
like,
sure, because if you read through all of them, I'd have to say, I need to learn your
would be
secret.
incredible.
I know, right?
I'm already incredible, but that would be even more. Okay, but anyway, there are these two gods that this one book mentions, and they're like twins. One of them is like Dorfa, and the other is Sotopai, and one of them supposedly like really smart and like foresighted, and the other one like leaps first and thinks later. But it doesn't say like which one is which. Do you know anything about that?
Not particularly. I'm more more of the fiendish lore myself.
Hey, it couldn't hurt to ask. Thank you so much. I think I know which one I want though.
All right. So
What do I
which
do
one are
now?
you wishing to get into contact with?
Oh, I want to try Sotopai.
All right. Let me bring me the book.
Okay, she goes and gets him the book. And he opens it to the page and like points at it and everything.
Yep. Come here, sit down.
She does that.
All right. Sets you down. Looks through it. Let's see. That. Are you allergic to fish?
Nope.
Are you allergic to peanuts?
Nope.
All right. Are you at all sexually active? See here.
Nope.
Okay, good. All right. How many fingers am I holding up? He holds up a hand with all 5 fingers holding up.
5,
He holds up his other hand. How many fingers am I holding up? 6 fingers.
6 fingers.
He has 6 fingers on one hand.
6.
All right, good. All right. Don't get
Wait,
stressed.
did you just say that he has 6 fingers on one hand?
Yes, the other one looks like there's missing a finger.
Is he a tiefling?
Yes, I said that from the beginning.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's how he has 6
I didn't
fingers
know
on one hand.
tieflings could have. I didn't know they could have fucking 6 fingers.
They can have
Me
6
neither.
fingers.
Yeah.
That's a thing. They can have. Yeah.
He's very
he-
talented.
Yes, he's very talented. He's missing a finger though on one of his hands.
It evens out.
Yep, but he's like, all right, no need to get stressed. I'm just asking questions to make sure that this works for you correctly. All right, just breathe in, breathe out. Feeling better? Feeling more relaxed?
Yes.
Good. Make a wisdom save.
Fuck. Yeah.
I muted myself just in time to go make a wisdom save, so my was fucking muted.
Cut off.
That's 16 plus 1, which is 17.
All right. You stare at him for a moment as he says good, and then feel a little bit off for a second as you kind of just like, yeah, this is weird. And you kind of like
Don't go
lean
into the
back
light.
and you feel your back hit the ground and you're falling and falling and falling and falling, and you no longer see the roof of the library. You're just falling. No wind whistling around you. There's no way to tell up from down anymore. You are just in a sense of perpetual motion. And then you're in a void, just a black void. What do you do?
I'm gonna hello, gonna call out.
You call
On
out.
there?
No immediate response. Just the response of your own voice echoing back to you.
Oh. She's gonna walk, I guess? I can do that. She can do that, right?
All right. You just decide I'm gonna, I'm just gonna act, and you decide to start walking, and surprisingly enough, you find purchase under your feet, and you begin moving forward. Not sure if it's forward, up, down, but you're moving in a direction.
Yes. She's gonna try to extend her hands out too to make sure she doesn't like
Run into
run
anything.
into anything or if there's anything around.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That's a natural 20.
That's a natural 20. All right. You have your hands outstretched, looking around, and right before you bump into something, and you don't see it, but you pause, almost reacted to something you don't see, but you just feel. For a moment, you're just standing there, just like, am I okay? And you feel a very, very faint, a hot wind brush against your hand, like the exhalations of a large creature right in front of you. You can't see it, but you sense there's something there.
Hello? Oh,
You feel the world suddenly shift again, and your feet are just swept out from under you, and you're tumbling again, just end
oh
over
fuck.
end over end over end over end as you were just cartwheeling and spinning around. And then your back slams against something very soft.
Oh.
And you feel yourself suddenly going in the opposite direction as you're rising
Like a
up
pinball
faster.
machine.
It's like a pinball machine, essentially. And as you're going upwards at a rapidly increasing pace, you see little pinpoints of light. Little dots begin to appear in front of you, and you're brought up towards them until eventually you see what appears to be an entire galaxy just in front of your face, just like looking into the night sky, completely expanding in front of you. And they all go dark, and they all come back on.
Oh.
They all go dark, they all come back on.
Can I touch one?
You reach out, and it's out of your grasp, but as you watch them, you see the stars shift. And you realize you're not looking at a galaxy, you're looking at a galaxy within an eye
Oh,
that is looking at you.
hello. It's nice to meet you.
Who are you, little one?
My name is Imnostra.
A good name. A
Thank
wonderful
you.
name. You have come quickly. You have acted quickly for one who has come here. Many find themselves lost before I can speak with them.
Oh,
What brings one such as yourself here?
can you repeat that?
What brings one such as yourself here?
Looking for help. There's something I want to get done, but I don't know if I can do it on my own.
Kind of squints.
And
Like all the stars seem to like compress for a second before it's still listening, but it just compresses for a moment as you say that.
and from what my brief understanding of this is that patrons of warlocks, I mean patrons of gods, can help the gods they contract, and I'm willing to do in order to get this done.
Anything?
Just about.
Just about is not anything.
All right, anything.
You're quick to jump into things that you have no idea the gravity of. I like you. We'll talk
Oh,
more later. You
okay,
feel
thank
you feel the ground rumble underneath your feet, and you realize he's got you in a hand. All of a sudden, you feel something smack against the bottom of his hand, and all of a sudden, you're flying back up, 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 up. You sit back up, and you're back in the library.
uh, uh, do I still have my disguise self up? Did that like knock me out?
Yeah, it knocked you out.
Down then.
Yes, that is currently down.
Okay, I look like me again.
Yep.
Great.
Astor is
Do
kind of
I,
just like, yep, about what I expected.
I see anybody else looking at me?
No,
Cool, great.
he kind of has you over in a corner where you don't have to worry about being seen.
Hey, what's up?
So, you're not dead.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Did you pick the right one?
Yeah, I did. I did it. Are you proud of me?
I mean, it's not my place to be proud of you. I can definitely say that I'm curious. Most people don't look at those gods. You've got me curious to see what they're all about. That being said, I suppose we will have more time to talk. If you've truly made such a arrangement with this entity, welcome to the Warlock's Tower.
Oh, thanks.
Gives a little half nod. Go get some rest. It's almost dawn.
Well, bye. See you later. She like
Nods.
gets up and she's like, "I'm out of here."
Yep. He nods and lets you do what you need to do, and you head back, and you are,
Just say thank. She's like, "Thank you." Like right before she.
of course. And he gives a little salute of just he's like just drinking something from a flask. Just gives a little nod. As you're about to leave, you actually hear a sudden like ringing in the back of your head. Someone talking to you. By the way, just a little note. Don't be surprised if a few things begin to rub off on you. It happens.
What exactly is going to be rubbed on me?
Nothing bad. Just
Okay, cool. I'll trust you on that.
as you should. Trust me. There are worse things than having a patron rub off on you.
Thank you, I guess, for not.
Letting it be a surprise? I could have, but it wouldn't have been as fun. Also, he's casting message to do this, so every time that you're like
Oh.
responding, he is responding back afterwards. Just like I should probably answer that question.
Okay.
So yeah, you have made your pact. Well, you've not made the pact yet, but you've got a patron who's willing to make such a pact with you.
Okay.
We'll get more into that when you hit level 2 in it. That's when you actually get invocations, meaning that you've earned more than his interest at the moment.
Okay.
And then when you get to level 3, we'll actually go into the fullness of what he wants.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Uh.
So we move on to the next day after you go back. I'm presuming you're going back and you're going to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go back, you get some rest. Shuffle, where did you go, by the way?
Old stomping ground.
Okay. Still pretty much as you remember it being. A little bit messy, but it's home. It's got all the same kind of familiar faces that you were used to, and doesn't make you happy per se, but it makes you at the very least comfortable. So you're doing anything while you're there, or just looking around it?
Oh yeah.
I want to figure out what actually has been going wrong in this city. First way to find out is firsthand through the people that get affected.
Gotcha. Are you still needing me to roll your investigation checks? Bettis? Betters.
Sorry, I was connected to my house internet. The last thing I heard was, "Are you still?"
Yeah, I said, are you still needing me to roll your investigation checks, or are you back home where you can roll them yourself?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I said, do you need me to roll your investigation check?
I didn't hear what you said.
For looking around the
Like,
city, do you
the
need me to
last thing
roll
I
your
heard,
investigation?
the last thing I said, heard you say was, "Are you still?" Then whatever.
Yes, I said, are you still needing me to roll your investigation check?
For now, yes.
Alright, not a problem. So this one will just be a normal one, but 19. Sticking with it?
Sure.
Alright, so with a 19, as you're looking around the place, a lot of the citizens of the town, they're going about their days, day-to-day lives, seeming pretty okay with everything. There is an air of anxiousness and suspicion to some people, as sometimes people will be like whispering to one another, and then when they see someone else listening in, they just kind of like glare at them and move away. What you are able to overhear is about people worried about assassins, saying that every now and then some people swear they can hear someone playing music in the middle of the night, trying to lead their duke out of the city, or that they're trying to steal children, or that maybe if they're not careful, they'll be caught up in a web like a spider's. Maybe it's like watching a drow from the old times, like the old stories. But no, drow can't be like that. They've been good for years. Loth was
Uh,
thrown out from that. That can't be right.
and is it coming from people that are like actually, like more than one person?
Yes, it's more than one person, as in like people are having discussions about it, and some people are just like trying to blow it off. Be like, no, it's Loth was lost in the rending. Couldn't have been Loth. But there's others who are like, no, it's gotta be. What if these people are worshiping Loth to bring her back? Yeah, it only makes sense. Or maybe it's again, maybe it's just the bards playing tricks on us, trying to make us see things that aren't there. So it's just a complete back and forth of he said, she said, we said this, essentially.
All right. After that, he'd probably just find an abandoned building he would used to crash at,
Okay.
look around, crash at it.
Yep. The place has a few rats, as well as a few rat folk kids who are just kind of playing around, as one would do, with a few other kids and whatnot, just making a ruckus as they do. You know where to hide, where they won't actually bug you with showing up suddenly and spooking you when you're sleeping. No need for that.
A crow will fly over to him, and 5 gold will appear, and it's out.
The kids are very confused by the sudden offering of gold from a bird, but they're just like, "Is this normal? Are we supposed to? It's not a stranger. It's a bird. I guess we can take this. I want a piece. I want a piece." No, and they're like kind of fighting over it, kind of like pushing and shoving each other, but they eventually split it amongst themselves.
And that's when he'll hit the head.
All right. So we're moving into the next day, which actually, for all of you guys, a lot of the little stuff that you want to do will take a little bit of time, and Jack, at the current time, doesn't have anything on the board for today. Is there anything you guys want to do for downtime? This is stuff we're going to speed through a little bit faster to try and actually get to your next mission type stuff. Obviously, we're role-playing all the other stuff because Oz wanted to have a thing handled, and I wanted to make sure that was handled properly.
I got shops to shop at, and I got a list here to do.
All right. How much are you looking to purchase?
How much do I think I'll need? That's my follow-up question.
I'd say rolling an intelligence check might help with that.
Do that for me, please.
Not a problem. Intelligence. 23. You have no idea of the exact amount needed. Just by guessing, you're gonna want to aim high. I'd say just to ensure that the prototype is functional, you're gonna want to drop at minimum 1,500 to 2,000.
How much I got? I got 2,700. Because I'll probably just end up dropping 2K on.
Also, you need to update your gold on your sheet. It still says the former number. Luckily, you have your actual gold written down for you because your sheet does not say that. But
because I believe because we got 2,700 last session, right?
You did. You and Alex did.
3,700. Sorry.
Yeah, and part of that was also the mission you got right. So you have the ability to, I'm not going to say somewhat, but drop that amount in an attempt to get that. What smith are you going to use a smith to use smith tools, or are you going to try and make it yourself?
Smith tools.
Okay. What smith are you going to try and hire out to actually form these items?
Would I know of a smith?
You smacked his ass earlier, so there's one.
Would I know he is a smith, though?
Did you ever go back to the inn?
Probably roughly just to show everybody that he wasn't dead.
Yeah. If you asked Jack about looking for a smith, he would he would mention him, as well as a few other smiths that are viable. But when it comes to the Manticore's Mane, there's a loyalty to Brand, and he would recommend speaking to him first just to see if he could actually make something with it. Just because,
yeah,
it would help him out.
Any name that he gives him, he'd probably use.
Okay. So yeah, first name he gives is to check the dwarf, and I suppose you're going to him first. So I mean, he's literally connected to the Manticore's Mane. So let me see if he is able to know anything about how to do this. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm doing math in my head. Boy, he just barely got what he needed. I suppose I could work something out with this. Weird blueprints, but I can get you covered.
Okay, that's good.
How fast do you need it finished? There's, of course, a few things I can make with it, but if you're looking for it piece by piece, I can break it down a little bit faster. It'll just take a little longer to actually get it assembled.
He'll raise a sign that says some assembly required.
I like that. I can probably get the major components of it done fairly quickly. It's just a matter of actually getting this part. Taps the barrel. This part's going to be rather difficult, as well as taps the stock. This part, I'm not going to be able to smith that. I might need to get a friend who can wood carve to actually carve that out. Don't need to know what all it's for, just needs to know it needs to be carved to look like this. You should have moving parts, tiny little things. Also,
There actually is.
Hmm?
There's the ceasing like on the stock because like the stocks be wood, so there is something. It looks like he drew some things there and he erased it. Drew some things, erased it, and it's currently erased. It just looks like he's been like sketching things on.
right, stuff that he wants to like have etched into it or drawn into it.
Yeah.
I get you. He's like, if you want something put in there, we can have that done as well. If you prefer to leave it blank, we can leave it blank.
Or not.
Fair enough. So, if you're needing this done quickly, give me some time to see what I can actually do with this. Alright?
He'll shake his head. Yes.
Alright. And he will take the blueprints. He actually puts a pins them to a board and then puts a very thin layer of essentially glass in between the paper and the forge, just to make sure that it doesn't catch fire or anything. Does not want to get those lost or ruined.
He notices Shuffle doesn't leave.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just like, all right, let's get to work. Gonna start going at that, and
He'll help if he can.
he's going to ask you to do several things where he's like, I just need you to do X, Y, Z to actually get that done. Paris.
Sorry,
No
I'm
worries.
muted.
You're muted. That's why I made sure to give you a
No.
moment. You, in this time, will be able to get your barrel done, and we'll be able to get a second barrel in the process of brewing it as well, and actually getting it to be set correctly. So you are able to get this done.
Okay.
All right. Is there
My
anything
voice
else you
cracked.
want to do as well? You're fine. You haven't been talking much this episode because we were working on getting Oz's thing done and NPR's thing done, and now we're working on getting everyone's things done.
I'm going to assume that with this fucking barrel, this dwarf now figures that he has to repay me in some way, because I remember you mentioning that.
I mentioned that, maybe.
I have a minor favor.
Define minor.
Well, I'm going to whistle and have Minnie land outside. I need Wyatt armor for a large creature.
Come again. He's just like, stares at me, he's just like, basically giving you the equivalent of, the fuck?
I mean, someone who made such a wonderful work of art, she's holding up the katana, surely couldn't be challenged making armor that's just a smidgen bit larger than usual.
Oh, it's not the largeness that I'm worried about, it's the thinness of the chest. I don't want to weigh her down with weight of steel. I mean, I suppose I could look into something. I'm probably going to end up being the most busy I've been in a while. So you're looking to make a barded breastplate, essentially?
Essentially.
Let me see here. Let me do some numbers real quick. Breastplate's normally about 400 gold. So if we're going to bard the breastplate and make it for a creature that's bigger, go barding. She's a big girl. I'm gonna try and see if I can make that. If I keep it within 40 pounds, she should still be able to move without having any worries about her flying about. That being said, it would cost at least around 1,600 gold.
She's got a shrugs.
It's a custom job.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't think that you can get armor for a giant vat just anywhere.
No, you usually can't. But I'm pretty well close to being the best in my business. I suppose I could find a way to make it work. I'd say I'm working on another project as well. In the entirety, if I do both projects, I'd probably have it done at least within... Give me to the end of the month. And I should
That
be able to
works.
have your armor for your lovely... what did you say her name was? Minnie! Ah! It speaks! Forgive me!
Minnie.
No, not that. She! Thank ya! Minnie, she! I'll have her armor made. I presumed it was a girl in the beginning, and I presumed right. I apologize, I should not have assumed. I presumed because you are a lass, and most rangers I've met with tend to have similar, although I did once meet a lass with a large armored bear who was a male. That was a little bit awkward when I realized I had the gender wrong. I was very embarrassed.
You're rambling.
Yes, I am.
She pats his shoulder.
Forgive me,
There's, of course, one more thing.
Yes.
This one will be simpler.
Squincy.
You can make... you can make adjustments to saddles, can't you?
I'm not exactly a leather worker.
Metal
but
adjustments.
metallic adjustments, I can make some.
Would you be able to make it so I am harder to knock off a saddle?
That'll cost you extra.
Of course it'll cost me extra.
I'd say round it up.
I assume it's
say-
still probably a bit cheaper, considering she, knocks on the barrel.
Obviously. I'd round it up to... I mean, if we're... Wait, are you giving me the entire barrel?
Yeah.
I'd say we could just keep it at 1600. I don't think that would be bad at all.
Did I just break him? Wait, hold up.
He failed his wisdom save.
Wait, okay. So what did he just say? Because all I heard was the and then it went static.
No, he was making he was inhaling like he was thinking for a second. I rolled his wisdom save and he said, "I suppose keeping it at the 1600 would be fine and dandy. I don't have to add any extra pricing."
Oh, wonderful! She'll pull me to a hug. Thank you for being so generous.
He hugs back, just like anything for a fellow dwarf. I respect between names, between cultures, and between fellas. Pats your shoulders with a very strong swack, and just I'll have what I can be done hopefully within the month. I'm probably gonna be
Take
a
your
little
time.
pressed for time, but I said I would be trying to get this done as quickly as I could. I'm a man of my word.
I know, but if you take your time, it comes out better.
Obviously, but I want it to be done better, functionally, with some embellishment of my own. That's what I want to be done within the month. It's the
I will.
embellishment that takes time.
There's one thing you could embellish on there as well for me if you don't mind.
Squints at you again.
I'm assuming there is a clan sigil if I have fucking someone branding of some sort.
Is there motioning to that?
Yeah.
Oh, please. I was going to ask if you had a sigil of that in the first place. The fact you beat me to it just shows that you are a dwarf after my own heart. He takes
Bottle
a
of wine
copy of it.
beforehand.
Detail semantics. He takes a copy of the sigil to have embellished onto the armor later.
So pat his shoulder before she goes back to... where the hell is Minnie staying?
Minnie's been staying in the menagerie in the back.
Oh, that's right, the stable.
Yep.
Has she been getting along with with everyone else in there, or should I be concerned for my baby? This is like sending a kid to daycare.
Do you go check it out?
Yeah!
Okay.
I mean,
I imagine she went back to work on the ale, and then it's like, wait, and then it just spun her out.
Right.
Imagine going to a stable and seeing a giant bat instead of a horse.
There's a griffin in the fucking stable!
Don't spoil the surprise!
Too late.
Freaking yelling about things I'm about to spoiling the surprise. I'm wounded.
Good!
Well, I mean, I still have another surprise up my sleeve.
I mean, if I wound the DM, then he's less likely to be harsh because he's tending to his own wounds.
You think that I can't fight with my wounds? I will split
No,
them
it's called
open to
being
make sure that I can
optimistic.
get you down to where I need you to be. Don't you test me. I know what I'm doing.
I will get the salt.
He'll squirt blood in your eyes.
I will get the salt. Don't test me, demon.
I am already filled with enough salts to fill the ocean. You cannot feed the salt any further.
You want to know the awful thing that I almost... No, fuck it, I'll say it. You want to know the awful thing that came to my head? I lick the salt off things, too.
Cannibal.
Oh, you are both animals. What the fuck?
I know, right? Anyways, so you peek out back towards the menagerie, which is essentially it's the stable yard, but it's built for various other creatures. And amongst them, you see a dark-skinned humanoid who is got their hair done up into a ponytail.
Oh, is it the girl?
Yep, it's still the girl. She's fairly tall, with a little bit rounded out, but still got more than enough strength to her to heave about a few things as she pets the beak of a tiny little griffin that's just kind of like he's like scratching at the ground, just following her around as she's walking around. And from one of the places, you just see the head of this giant eagle just poke out, just turn around, and just be like, "Are we getting anything around here in a little bit?"
I see you collected fledglings.
She glanced back, just like, "Well, to be fair, she decided to start following me. It's not my fault, and her mother and father know me well enough to know that she's in no harm."
Ironically, the girl's whose name I have forgotten because this was long before I took fucking notes. Fuck me.
Ash,
you're fine.
I think, something like that. Someone with an A. I know it's an A.
No worries.
Ash?
Nope, it's not Ash.
Okay, thank
like,
God. I'm sitting there like...
You're fine. She's
I've had
like,
2 characters now that's tried to get with her. Jesus, what's her name?
I'm aware. She like slowly kind of like glanced at you. She's like, "By the way, I have been speaking with your bat friend, Minnie. Wonderful
Yes?
conversationalist. However, she always refers to you as her mother, but not by your actual name. And it's been quite some time, so forgive me. I'm a little rusty with names." She holds out her hand. Her name's Aloe.
You're going...
Aloe
Aloe?
Oh.
She holds out her hand, waiting for you to shake it.
It was
She'll
a different
take
time. Guys, it was a
Yep.
different time in this campaign. Things were a lot.
I'll take her hand.
Yeah.
Alexandra Island.
Oh, for giving her full name, my name is Aloe Lashani.
Full name is what? You
Aloe
cut
Vera.
out?
Let me make sure I'm pronouncing this right.
Dawn, is it spelled the way I think it is?
Aloe Lashani. Alovera Lashani Lushani.
Okay, wait, okay. You said that too fast. I'm sorry.
I'll type it out. I'll send it to you.
Allovera.
Yes.
And I heard LES.
No.
S.
LU.
Okay, LUSH.
H. Double A.
NI.
Yes.
Also, I love butter. It was a different time. This campaign was a different time. Doo-doo.
Oh no.
What?
I
I'm
think
still
it's
here.
back. Yeah, no,
And
he, like...
It went out for a second, which was what was funny.
Oh, Lord.
I've had 2 of my characters now. I've tried to get with that one. I think one may have succeeded.
Technically.
Who knows?
What do you mean, technically? What? Hold on.
He doesn't know for sure. He out of
Okay.
character. In
I was
character,
about to
he
say,
knows
I'm
for
like,
sure.
I'm like, don't technically and consent here. No.
No, there was absolutely 100%. I don't technically with consent. You are aware of this already. You can't see me, but I'm holding my hand up in a "don't you dare." I will karate chop the heck out of you emotion.
Technically, I can. Remember?
Right, you can watch the stream, but there's lag. There's lag though. Yeah, she introduces herself for you, so now you are aware of her name.
There was a hair on the lip of my drink.
You're fine.
Oh,
Sora's been keeping a good track on all that's been needed around here. Isn't that right? And she walks up, pats the griffin on the face. Yep. Pops head back in. He's a little bit fickle, though. Granted, he still enjoys being around here, even after the charm wore off. Powerful spell, that. Not sure how it worked, but who am I to question it?
she's not been getting into any trouble, has she?
Minnie? Oh, she's been an absolute delight. Although she's gotten into trouble a few times because I've had to make sure she doesn't fly. This is a no-fly city, which is making her a little bit antsy, but more so than just the fact that she wants to go out to the fields and just look around or just fly around the city. At which point the guards promptly ask her politely, now that they've actually started to get used to the fact that there's a giant bat in the city that can talk back to them. They're simply spooked by things that fly. It's
Is there a way
sad.
that I can get a pass so that she may fly?
Currently, no. Been working on it, especially since Sora was brought in and we have a griffin and his fledgling and his wife, his partner, here as well, which very helpful, very useful, still hasn't gotten us in. There's another person who's actually looking to. I've been working with him because I've been trying to make it so I can have Sora and the others be able to have a chance to spread their wings and fly without me taking them out of the city. But I don't believe you've ever met him. He actually is one of the former members and a very, very nice gentleman named Jedius. She kind of like rubs her chin slowly. It's kind of just like,
Can I insight that action, actually?
no.
Or is it just like a case of trying to remember his name?
It appears to be trying. It's not less trying to remember his name and just trying, like thinking about him, just like, and what he's been doing. Just like, yeah, he's been struggling with it as well.
I love how I don't need insight in that case. It's just kind of like, yeah.
They've been trying to fly, and thus far, the city has said this is a no-fly zone.
He's made no progress then.
He's made some progress, especially considering the fact that he's been able to get a few of them to be more relaxed, but that's taken time, and unfortunately it may take more time before we're actually able to get that pass. Working on it, obviously, but baby steps.
I wonder if there's a way that I can help butter him up.
Oh, Guru. At that point, something lands on their shoulder, actually.
That thing being?
I mean, they brought up his name, and something's been listening for a while now. God,
Is it Neef?
fuck yes.
Alright,
The
so
fuck is on me?
not you, it's on Aloe's shoulder. Suddenly, just like appearing from out of nowhere, is this little, maybe 3 to 6 inch tall humanoid figure with large wings, just looking very coy down at Alex, and just gives a little spirit finger. Just
Do I know what that is?
roll a nature or arcana check.
Hey, Guru.
What?
Go to Jedius' sheet real quick.
I don't know what that is.
Do me a favor and go to his sheet right quick and check out his invocations.
All on.
Oh no, don't tell me he can talk through her. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying, but
Oh no.
where are your invocations at? Yep, I see it. Are you wanting to speak through the familiar, or would
I
you
mean,
like
if
me
they're
to?
speaking to me, do you want me to do Jedius'?
I'll
or
allow
do
you to
wanna
do Jedius' voice because this was your character.
Oh lord.
Oh.
You hear like,
Mhm.
yeah, you hear like the voice of a seems to be a man just come out and just go, you know, someone speaking of myself.
Oh, hello, Jedius. Been a while.
Alex has her axe out.
Oh, put that away. It's not like
What
you can
is
kill-
it?
Alex, please calm down if you don't mind.
You calling me?
I mean, she was listening in, and I did just call you Alex. Relax. This is Neef. Kind of motions a hand to the small little pixie on her shoulder.
Which I imagine she looks somewhat upset by the fact that he's talking through her.
My body.
She like her mouth isn't able to form outside of what's being. It is because she's got like a pout going on. She's got arms crossed, just. But whenever he speaks, it just like warps her mouth to actually speak for him, and he's just like. But right now, when he's not speaking, just pouting, just.
I'll put away the axe.
There you go.
Why does she look upset?
Jedius is using her mouth to speak. She likes to interact with people herself, but Jedius, if you're in there, I'm pretty sure you've got something you'd like to say.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're part of the Flying Should Be Allowed committee, I'm part of it too. Please come talk to me at the Forbidden Fruit sometime.
He's made his own B&B. Well,
I'm going to
BB
assume I know
and B, actually.
I'm going to assume I know what that is, but
B&B usually stands for bed and breakfast, but then she added another B.
do I need to roll to figure out what the hell it means?
I mean, you would need to ask to know exactly what it means.
Like, her expression just read. You know that Jackie Chan meme where he has the most confused what expression? That is her face essentially right now. What?
Bed, brothel, and breakfast.
Oh, so you run a whorehouse. All right.
It's a
fun one.
it's
Yes.
a fun house. In the good sense, of course.
Well, of course.
You gotta have breakfast afterwards. Keep your strength up. Or have breakfast in the evening, whenever breakfast is available.
Breakfast
So-
is always a.
He doesn't sleep. He just has fun.
She shakes her head. Okay, where exactly is this?
I'll lead you to it later. Don't worry. I've
Give the business card.
Need to get
like
the
like
business
like
card.
you see her like roll her eyes, and she's just like you've like points at her mouth, just like, can I talk?
Sure, and he'll let her talk.
Gosh, damn it! Why do you always have to take over my mouth whenever I want to start speaking to people? Look, lady, before he takes my mouth away, can I have some of your ale?
She holds up a bottle of the
Mouth
ale.
comes back. Do not let this small pixie drink, please. She has a serious problem, and I'm trying to be a good friend about it.
She like looks enraged, just like grabbing hands at the bottle, just like
Wait, I have an idea. I'm going to take control of her mouth, but not
She like pauses. What?
mouth can't open if I'm not speaking.
Yes, it can. I was just wanting to make sure you were going to interrupt me.
All right then.
I'll take a little bit. Just like a very. You know how essentially. Neve, come here.
Did she give the card?
She's giving the card. I'm guessing you're sent. Actually, no. She pulls it out. It's like wrapped up into like a little tube, because it's almost as big as she is. But she hands it to you, and it goes pops back open.
Nice.
It's a little curled around the edges, but it's serviceable.
Pocket dimension.
I knew it.
Oh, she's gonna be mad at him later.
Ooh. I didn't know they could do that.
I'm trying to help her alcoholism. Goddamn.
I'm aware. This is, I mean, to be fair, she had gotten herself trapped inside of an ale bottle earlier on, and she
Oh no!
she
Just
she,
drank
she
it all.
drank her way out, and she's been struggling with it ever since. It's been hilarious, but it's also been something she definitely has needed help with, and Jedius is being a good man.
Grr, it's been a while since I've seen this damn map.
I'm just sitting here laughing because in my head that doesn't make sense for a dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf just being
Just-
like, I don't understand. This is good manners. I know, man. This map is just you're finally away from the water, and you're actually able to see the map again. I'm so proud. You guys have grown up so much.
Alex
But
just looks at Aloe.
Yeah, go ahead.
What the?
You get used to it. No, you don't. But he tries to make sure that he's keeping you on your toes, and it's where you have the most fun. Trust me. Just don't think.
Just
too hard
raises
about
her hands. All right.
There you go. That's the spirit. Pat you on the shoulder. I'll lead you to it later. There's the address is on there, but actually getting walked there helps a little bit.
I mean, fuck it. This is just gonna go to waste. She'll handle the ale bottle.
She's handing it to Aloe or drinking herself.
Hand it to Aloe.
Oh, thank you. Puts in her bag.
I need to find like a sticker that I can put on these bottles.
Put your
Branding.
put your family symbol on it.
I just imagine just Jack coming in at 8 o'clock. What the fuck are you doing? Etching sigils into bottles? Why?
Just put it on a sticker. Branding. But with that introduction out of the way, and obviously I'm giving you guys a month of downtime. Send me details if you want any other stuff. Obviously, Shuffle's going to be working on his project. Paris, you're working on
I'm apparently starting a business.
starting a business with Ale. Oz, NPR, hit me up. Let me know what you want to do during this month. And at the end of the month, we'll be starting back up. We'll be having some fun with some new storyline stuff. Exciting.
Okay.
All right. As for everyone else who has been watching, and if you're watching from the future, of course, leave us a comment, leave us a like. We appreciate it. We want to know what we've done well, and we want to know how we can continue to improve to give you guys quality content. If you want to keep up with us, subscribe to the YouTube channel or come to twitch.tv/whatteamcomp, one word, and give us a follow so we can continue to keep you updated with when we stream, so that you can continue to stay up to date with all this good sorcery and secrets content, because they're back on the mainland. They've got oodles of land to look around, and they're level high enough that I can have some fun. But until next time, this has been What Team Comp, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
See ya.
Voices.